All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Fabtastic Five. A little bit of a different setting here for you guys. But again, five names that I think you should be throwing some fab on when Sunday fab rolls around. Going to be a few names that were on here last week, but still think that they're worth throwing a bit on. First guy I'll cover here, Jack Sawinski. Again, he's just crushing the ball. He's ripping the cover off the ball. 88th percentile in average exit velocity, 88th percentile in hard hit rate, 95th percentile, I believe, in max exit velocity, and 96th percentile in walk rate. So not only is he hitting the ball hard, but he is getting those walks. You like to see that, and he is legitimately fast. I want to say he's high 80s, low 90s in sprint speed as well. On the season, 244 average, 7 home runs, 5 stolen bases, a 927 OPS. The counting stats have looked all right, nothing spectacular. I think it is 11 runs, 18 RBIs. But he's just playing really well right now. Somebody that I think is definitely worth an ad in almost any format at this point. Jarren Duran, sorry, not an ad, a bid in any format. Jarren Duran, another outfielder. I'm going to backtrack here a little bit. Jack Sawinski, 54% roster on Yahoo, 17% on ESPN. I apologize about that. Jarren Duran, 54% roster on Yahoo, 19% rostered on ESPN. So another outfielder here, this time for the Boston Red Sox, Jarren Duran. He has a somewhat similar profile to Sawinski, I believe. But I think at this point, I might prefer Sawinski. Excuse me. Duran just doesn't seem to be hitting the ball quite as hard. He's walking less. The numbers still look good for Duran. 67% average exit velocity, 84th percentile hard hit rate, and 91st percentile in sprint speed. Across 77 plate appearances so far, he's batting .382 with 2 home runs and 4 stolen bases, a .632 slug to go along with that, and a .1061 OPS. Obviously, these numbers probably won't stay here all year, but he is looking pretty good, very good, since he's been called up. So Jarren Duran, another guy to throw some fab at if you need an outfielder. Now, some pitchers here for you. Tanner Bibby. I do prefer Tanner Bibby here to the pitcher that will follow him, but Tanner Bibby, 47% roster on Yahoo and 12% on ESPN. Only 2 games so far, so very small sample size, but he has a 2.45 ERA and a .91 WHIP. He is also not walking anybody in these 2 starts, 99th percentile in walk rate, 84th percentile in K rate across these 2 starts, 89th percentile in expected slug, and 83rd percentile in XBA. So he's kind of limiting that hard contact, not giving up a ton of, good contact there, and he's striking out a decent amount of people. So Tanner Bibby, he's looked good, probably worth a fab bid, and I don't know if he'll be up the rest of the season, but I think you kind of have to expect him to. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm kind of thinking that the Guardians will keep him up as long as he keeps pitching well. All right, the other pitcher, the aforementioned Mason Miller, 31% rostered on Yahoo, 10% on ESPN. Like I said, I do prefer Bibby to him, but Miller he's also looked really nice for a bad team. So he is giving up hard contact, though. That is the one downside with Mason Miller. But a 3.52 ERA, a .98 WHIP, and 17 strikeouts over 15 and a third innings pitched. That's only 3 starts for him. But like I said, the warning signs are those hard hit numbers. He's giving up 10th percentile in average exit velo, 8th percentile in hard hit rate. So he is getting crushed when the ball's being hit, which is a little bit worrisome. Maybe the fact that he plays in the Oakland Coliseum or whatever it's called now mitigates some of that, but a little bit worrying there. But the strikeouts have been pretty good, and he hasn't given up too many runs. So that is Mason Miller, and I do expect him to be up for a majority of the season here with the Oakland A's, as they are just terrible. Last guy on the list here, he made his debut this past week, Matt Mervis. 45% roster on Yahoo, 10% on ESPN. Matt Mervis, a first baseman for the Cubs. assuming he got the call because the Cubs were in desperate need of a first baseman, as they weren't really getting anything from Mancini and Hosmer to start the year. Only plate appearances, 8 plate appearances so far, but he does have 2 hits and 2 RBIs, good for a 250 batting average. But I will give you his AAA numbers just so you have an idea of kind of the profile of player that we have here. So 286 average in AAA, 6 home runs, 18 walks to 19 strikeouts, and a 962 OPS. So I believe the ceiling here for Matt Mervis is pretty high. He looks exciting. He's come up and he's gotten a handful of hits here. So that is Matt Mervis. I appreciate you guys sticking around here for me. Sorry for some of the stumbles and bumbles, but I will see you all next week.